Alright, this is my recording for uh, the Scholomance Academy Demon Hunter cards, my arena review, so to speak, average arena review, since don't profess to be a top player. So, going to do this first by rarity. I will start off with the Legendaries, which is a bit unusual since I don't know. I'm going to be reviewing Legendary, then Epic, then Rare, then Commons, and Commons are the most impactful typically due to how rarity it is offered in Arena. And I will sort by mana cost. Alright, so the first card, Ace Hunter Crane. 3 mana, 2/4. It's also a Hunter card. It's a dual class card, but I will review that in the Hunter section later on. So this is a really good card. So 3 mana, 2/4 is a passable stat line, but its effect is insane. So if you have a board, you preserve your board, you trade up whatever you can. This is a much better. What was that guy called? Holy shit! What was the name called? 2/4 from KFT. Death Speaker? I think it was Death Speaker, right? Yeah, it was Death Speaker from Knights of the Frozen Throne, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, this is a much better Knights of the Frozen Throne. It's board Knights of the Frozen Throne. And not only that, uh, Hunter and Demon Hunter, especially Demon Hunter, you do not take damage while attacking because it's all characters. So it's also a partial Mal'Ganis effect. So yeah, this is an insane card. So let me get. So already this is an S tier card. Yep. So this S tier card. Uh, this honestly I think is at least a double S. This card's insane. I'm going to give this a triple S. So S tier, the final card rating is 3S. So my according to my rating scale is the highest possible you could get for the card. So yeah, this is an insane card. Alright, so next legendary. Star Student Stelina. 4 mana 4/3. It's only a Demon Hunter card. Now 4 mana 4/3 is not a great stat line by any means. Its effect is only for outcasts, so you must have this as your first or leftmost card or your last or your rightmost card when you play it. So that that's very restrictive to how you play this. So it's gonna be very draw dependent. In arena, it's probably not good. It's effect. So if we just ignore the outcast, look at 3 cards in your opponent's hand. Shuffle one of them into their deck. So you get to see up to 3 cards in your opponent's hand, and you choose one of them to send back into their deck. So in top deck scenario, you can basically know what their hand is and send a threat or removal back into their hand. So the effect is pretty insane. The effect, if this effect was guaranteed, this would be at least the A to S tier rated tier card. However, it has to be Outcast, and Outcast is not that simple to use. And if no Outcast, 4 mana 4/3 is not a good stat line. This is a it's probably like a D to F tier almost stat line, but this effect is pretty insane. I'm gonna say this is a pretty bad card. So let me try to up. So I'm going to give this. It's going to be in the D tier range. I think a D is fair. I'm not gonna say D plus, because its standalone is so bad, so bad. This Fett is insane. I think I would just give it a D. Yeah, this gets a D for my rating. So, like I said, Fett is insane. However, it has to be outcast, and if no outcast, this card is not great at all. So yeah, D rating. Right, so next card, Sociologist Militia. So this is a dual class card as well. Warlock, but 7 mana 5/5. Battle Cry. For each soul fragment in your deck, summon a 3/3 soul with Rush. It's not even a demon. So I didn't really get to the soul fragments yet. However, soul fragments are a new mechanic in Scholomance Academy. I believe there are three three uh three cards that give shard fragments or soul fragments. Two for each class and one overlapping dual class, I believe, or something like that. So just look at this without a shard soul fragment. Without soul fragment, this is a 7 mana 5/5. Not good, not good at all. So in order to get at least the fair base value for the mana cost, you're going to want at least one soul fragment in your deck. And I believe every soul fragment type of card puts two fragments into your deck. So if you get two, it's insane. If there's only one, it's fair value. Any more, more than two, it's insane. So if you get a soul fragment deck, it's pretty good. However, you're probably likely to draw at least one soul fragment if you put two into your deck. If you put four, you probably draw one or two or by then. So this effect, if it's consistent, is insane. This will be an S tier type of card. However, we don't know how likely soul fragment cards are going to be in the arena. Going to assume there will be an offering bonus on Scholomance Academy cards, so for at least the first month, maybe more. So you'll be likely to build a soul fragment deck, hopefully. And at least one of the soul fragment cards are good even without the synergy. So consistently, this is going to be an S tier card if you get a soul fragment deck. However, I'm not too sure how consistent the soul fragment cards are going to be. Uh, Later on, I'll see that Demon Hunter has a weapon that's insane. So I'm going to give this an A plus. The reason for A and not S is that, again, not so sure how consistent soul fragment cards are going to be. The 7 mana card, you might have drawn all your fragments by then, or you only have one soul fragment card and you drew one by then and you have one, which is a good card, but to really be S rated, you want to consistently hit two soul fragments still in your deck by the time you play this. So I'm going to give this an A plus for now. So yeah, I believe that's all of the legendaries for Demon Hunter. So yeah, I'm going to go to the epics now. Right, so the first epic is Ancient Void Hound. 9 mana 10/10 demon. So from a stat line, it's pretty good for a 9 mana card. Or just for stats. Obviously the effect is what's important. At the end of your turn, steal 1 attack and 1 health from all enemy minions. That's insane. And I believe it's been confirmed that the steal from 1 health means that the opponent's minions, their max health is decreased by 1. So they don't take damage from what I don't believe they take damage. It's that their HP is subtracted by 1, which is a big difference. Um I'm pretty sure it's a big difference. So then damage type of synergy doesn't proc, and that means they can't get the enemies can't be healed. So this effect is insane. It's an ongoing effect, end of turn effect. So this effect on its own is an S tier type of card. Now the problem is that this is a 9 mana card. Very slow, especially in Demon Hunter, which is typically a more aggressive, faster mid-range type of class. This is a control type of card. And it being epic, you're not going to see it often. Well, you're going to see it a shit ton later eventually, but um, it's a really good card. If he doesn't, if you protect this beyond taunt, the opponent doesn't have like a polymorph, mind control, signs, or hex, it's gonna be game over after a while, assuming you quickly eventually establish your own board. So the effect is S tier, but it being 9 mana is very slow. Its effect is insane. This is a must kill card. This is going to be more consistent than the legendary soul militia whatever card. So I think I'll give this an S. The effect again, the effect is insane. The main issue is that it's a 9 mana card. So it only kills enemies if they're already at 1. So then your HP is went set to 0. Oh, and also steals their attack. So yeah, it's a very good, insane effect. So if this was like a 7 mana 8/8, this would be much better. So yeah, the downside of the card is that its mana cost. It's way too bit slow. But I think S is the effect is insane. All right. Wait, what? Okay. So yeah, next card, Philosophy with an F. 1 mana spell. It's also a Warlock card, dual class, but that doesn't really matter too much. Copy the lowest cost demon in your hand. Outcast. Give both +1/+1. So the main thing is that how common are demons going to? How common will demons be? Copy the lowest demon in your hand. If you only have one demon and the demon's a big demon, that's fine. But if it's a small demon, I'm not sure when you're gonna be playing this card and why didn't you play the small demon earlier. Outcast is it's a fair effect, but you don't know. So this is a value card, and the Outcast is a tempo card. Is a tempo effect by buffing. And it gives both of the buffs. Now, if this gave the initial smallest demon a buff, and the Outcast gave the second one, this probably would be a little much better, more fair. So in Arena, I don't know how good this is. Upside is not bad. This is a D or C tier card. It all depends how. I think is a fair amount of demons. It depends on the mana distribution of the demons and the likelihood to have it in your hand. Then why would you draft a 1 mana card for value to you have to have set up a hand setup, which is much more difficult than a board setup. I think I'm going to give this a D plus, whatever the hell that means. So yeah, it's bad, but it can be good in some scenarios. Even without the cast, it can be good because it'll give you value. It's just that when do you want to play this later in the game, or you could play in the mid game and tempo out and play a mid-sized demon and then maybe another demon. I don't know. It's very weird, but I think D plus. It's not gonna be a really insane card, but D plus. It could possibly be a C. So yeah. And the next card, True Aim Crescent. It's a Demon Hunter and Hunter card. So 1 mana, 1/4 weapon. After your hero attacks a minion, your minions attack it too. So in the review video, I believe it was by a Chinese streamer, it showed them attacking with leopard gnomes, and that leopard gnomes going face, using this weapon on a minion, and then the remaining leopard gnomes sacrifice themselves into the minion, I believe. Right? I think so. So this is very good. It is efficient. Allows for possibly an more efficient clear. You can also think of it as a mini whirlwind effect for your board by being able to push face and then maybe trade into something. Now, from my understanding, the your minions attack it too, so that's the issue. I believe the minions attack the minion you attacked with this weapon in the order that they were played. Now that's going to be very crucial since it's kind of difficult to recall the play order of minions. And I'm assuming, and summon order. I'm assuming play order, summon order is the same thing. I'm not sure. So then that might mean battle cry. The summon, if you play a battle cry that summons a token, the token might attack first. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, that might be true. But yeah, so this is going to be a difficult card to play properly, especially with the play or the board order that the minion is listed on the board. So 1 mana 1/4 is very good. It's a Light's Justice, which is honestly like an A tier kind of card. Probably maybe a B plus, but this effect is insane. This might be an S tier card. It's not. It's probably just a single S. The effect is insane, but it's a bit difficult, and I'm pretty sure overkill stuff doesn't happen, and such that if the first minion kills off the minion, your first minion kills off the attacked minion, the other minions on your board don't just sack into it. So this is a really good card, especially if your minions are attacking into a high health, low attack minion. I think this is a really insane card. I think it's S tier. I don't think it's a double S or triple due to the complexity of this card. You have to remember the play order, and that's easier said than done, especially since tons of people rely on deck trackers, and deck trackers do not have that information from what I've seen. I don't use deck tracker, but yeah, this is a very good card, insane card, especially since, as I said, it allows your minion to also go face or train into a minion or even the same minion. So it could get whirlwind on that actual targeted minion. So yeah, this is a really good card. Right, so that's all for the epics. So on to rares. Alright, so Cycle of Hatred, 7 mana spell. Deal 3 damage to all minions. Summon a 3/3 spirit for every minion killed. So now spirit is just a regular, yeah, no tribe. So just look at the first sentence, clause, statement of the card. Deal 3 damage to all minions. So it is a bigger potion of damn, what the hell is that potion called? Fuck, I forgot what the potion is called. The AoE potion from Misha's and Gadget's. hell was it called? Damn, I keep forgetting. It's a tri-class. What are the potions called? Volcanic potion, there we go. So yeah, it's a 7 mana volcanic potion with spell damage, if you think about it that way. So how much would you pay just for the first effect? So volcanic potion is 3 mana, 2 damage tied AoE. So if you double, that's 6. So multiply 2.5. 5 mana, and you summon everything. So it's kind of like what the hell is that? That mage card, whatever that's called. Wave, blast wave. But instead of value, you get tempo. And blast wave was 5 mana. So I guess 7 mana is fine. So how many? So this is a really good card. I'm not sure how. So the awkward thing is that it's 7 mana. 3 damage is relevant because I think 4 and 2 HP are breakpoints and 3 is a middle ground. That's interesting. This is a good card. The effect alone is an S tier, but I'm not sure if it's probably an A. Yeah, I think it's an A because it's a double-sided and you do get the spirits. This is a really good card. This is definitely about Flame Strike. Flame Strike is an A plus. Demon Hunter, you already have Chaos Nova, and you do have methods of removal. The fact is, when you play this on turn 7 or later, you want to have a small board or a high health minion left, or be somewhat even on the board, or at least decent enough to trade. I'm not sure if this is an S. I think the 7 man, it's really insane. I'll be conservative and give this a A plus rating. But yeah, this is a really good card. I'm not sure if you want to get draft 2 of them, or something like that. So yeah. Alright, next card, Glide. 4 mana spell. Shuffle your hand into your deck. Draw 4 cards. So, outcast, your opponent does the same. So there's 2 sides to this. First, you just look at the straight value of your own. Shuffle your hand, draw 4 cards. So for 4 mana, drawing 4 cards is insane. Sprint is 7 mana. However, this replaces your hand. So if you have 4 cards, aside from Glide, this is a plus 2 mana plot twist. You have 3 cards. So if you shuffle your hand is somewhat relevant because a shuffle effect and draw I think is worth a little less than a pure draw, because even if the card you're getting shuffled away is one that you don't want to play, you still can keep it in your hand and have it for later, rather than it being in your deck and then drawing it at a inopportune time anyway. So this is worse than normal card draw, but it still can be really good, especially if you have 1 or 0 cards in the late game. Now the outcast can be dangerous, especially if you're both top decking. I mean, it's still good, but you give your opponent a way to also catch up. Constructed this hand disruption to mess up combos, and it could be employed the same way in Arena toward the later stages of the game. But again, you risk giving your opponent also a card advantage. I want to say this is at least a B. I don't know if this is an A since this is not an easy card to use. Even without the outcasts. It's not a bad card. I'm going to say this is probably a B rating in general. As a card draw, it's good, but it's not an easy card to use. And then you want to figure out if you want to use the outcast, if you have the option to, and then later on you may not have the option to use it or not. I'm going to give this a B rating. This is going to be a very interesting card, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are talking about it in Constructed. It's going to be insane in Constructed with Arena. It's definitely not bad, as in you never draft it, but you probably won't be too upset with one. But again, this all depends on how Demon Hunter is as a whole. Alright, Mage Hunter, 3 mana, 2/3 rush. Whenever this attacks a minion, silence it. So there's two parts to this. The rush and the silence. Typically, the silence is a benefit unless you're attacking a minion that was nerfed, so to speak. So, not sure about that. So this can be good by killing off, or at least uh removing a taunt, so to speak. This is not a bad card. Not sure if this is strictly better or strictly worse. Ironbeak Owl. It's along the same vein. I believe it's consistently slightly better than Ironbeak Owl. And Ironbeak Owl would probably be a C type of card. This might be a B possible card. It's all gonna. So what are you silencing in this meta? I know there's a lot of Death Rattle cards and taunts. The Death Rattle cards are gonna give tons of value. I'm going to be a little optimistic on this. I know some people. I watched a few reviews are not sure about this. I'm going to give this a B plus. The upside is insane. The downside is you get a 3 mana 2/3 rush, but you typically can also silence reborn minions. You can also finish off a reborn minion before they pop the reborn. So yeah, getting rid of mid-sized death rattles is actually not bad. So yeah, I think B plus is fair. So yeah. Shard, Shatter, Mystic. 3 mana, 3/2. Battlecry, destroy a soul fragment in your deck to deal 3 damage to all other minions. So the effect is insane if it goes off. For 3 mana, 3. If this was a 2 mana 3/2, this is an easy S easily because there's no downside to drafting and playing this. So again, it's gonna come down to how consistently you can have a soul fragment deck. Then you have, and this is probably best in the mid game when you probably guaranteed to have a soul fragment deck in your deck and not drawn in already. So this effect is insane. The huge downside is the 3 mana as opposed to 2 mana. It's going to be, again, it's going to be very dependent on soul fragments. So I'm going to assume you can get soul fragments somewhat consistently. So I think this is S rating is a fair card. Uh, Later on in the expansion, in the event that they remove expansion bonus, or when future arena rotations, even though there's no real rotation, it's probably just regular standard, it's probably going to be a B plus or A type of rating, or B. But yeah, I think S is a fair, because it's an insane effect. It's a, actually you could probably think of it as a, it's kind of like a flak mage, where you have to have a secret played after. And secrets you don't want to draft for the most part, but soul fragment cards you kind of want to draft because they're pretty good on their own. The ones that put soul fragments in your deck. Should I give this an A? I don't remember what I gave the legendary, but it doesn't really matter. But this is fine. Alright. Soul Shear, 2 mana spell. It's also a warlock card. So deal 3 damage to a minion. Shuffle 2 soul fragments into your deck. So as Demon Hunter, don't really have that many small removals that aren't weapons, I believe, right? So that's actually good. Get like a frostbolt type of thing where if you have frostbolt in Demon Hunter, you're gonna use it to kill a minion, not go face. So this is at least an AS type of card. So in Warlock this is probably a little less due to the fact that you have tons of types of small removal stuff, Demon Fire even, or just AoEs that could do this. But yeah. So the effect is shuffle the soul fragments, and it enables other soul fragment synergy cards. This is a good card. This is at least an A. It might even be an S. I know a lot of people just said this was fair removal, but I think I overvalue removals in general. However, I think it's fair to give this an S as well. The effect, you suffer 2 mana and 3 damage to minions, good. This enables soul fragment synergy. I'm going to give it an S for now. Later on, it's still going to be good, but it'll probably be an A, and the other cards that require fragments will drop more significantly since this is standalone good. So yeah, giving this an S as well. Demon Companion, 1 mana spell card. It's also a hunter card. So summon a random Demon Companion. So for 1 mana, as opposed to 3 mana for Animal Companion, and you get these tokens that are essentially half the stats of the Animal Companions. You have Rough or Reoff for it's a bluegill. It's fine. Shima is a taunt, 1 mana 2/2 taunt, or just yeah, that's fine as well. Kolek, other minions have +1 attack, 1/2. So on turn 1, you do not want Kolek. You don't want Face. So this is a mid-game card. Either push lethal for 2 or plus board buff. So you have 2/3 of chance for maybe find lethal or taunt. Or 1/3. So this is a good card. It's a really good card. It's a small card. It's a flexible card. The effect is not incredibly insane. I'm going to give this an A rate, a tier. I'm not sure how high though. Animal Companion is probably A or even a low A or B plus, but this is probably a little more consistent due to the flexibility and the stat lines for being so cheap. I'm not sure if this is A plus. I think A is fair. This is a good card already, so let's check something. So yeah. So that's all for the rare Demon Hunter card. So now onto the common, the bread and butter of the Demon Hunt of what you'll most likely see in Demon Hunter. Just check something else. Alright, so sort by mana. Forgot to remove this. So Fell Guardians, 7 mana spell card. Summon 3/1/2 demons with taunt. Cost 1 less whenever a friendly minion dies. So I'm going to assume this means that this card has to be in your hand when your friendly minions die in order to get the discount, right? So that's the issue. And again, it's a 7 mana card, which is kind of expensive. They are 1/2s, which are not really impactful. They're just meant to stall the board. They're not like 1 HP at least, where they can be pinged off. So there's that. Just so, whoops. Yeah, so without the discount, this is a terrible card. This will be a D level rating. I mean, it's not unplayable because taunt top deck 7 mana 1/2 I mean, what else are you doing anyway? So it's not unplayable. It's not great. So it's around D range. The highest upside is what, 2 or 3 mana is the best, right? 1 mana or 0 mana is just obviously it's good, but you're not gonna pay 1 mana for a 1/2 taunt, would you? It's a Goldshire Footman, right? So 2 to 3 mana is the best, is the upside. 4 5 mana is fair, but I mean, if you get stuck in your hand, you probably will get a discount or 2 or 3 for It's not great, but it's not unplayable. I think D tier is fine, and I'm not sure any plus minus, so I'm just gonna give it a D. I mean, it's whatever. So yeah, you probably draft it. All the cards are bad, and yeah, and you have an aggressive deck, touch your board maybe, but yeah, that's a card. Blood Herald, 5 mana 1/1. It's also a hunter card. Whenever a friendly minion dies while this is in your hand, gain +1/+1. So this is a win condition. It's a threat in the mid to late game. You need at least, and again, I'm going to assume you need to have this in your hand for it to start getting buffed. So in order for this to be fair, you need at least 4 of your own minions to die while this is in your hand. Demon Hunter. If you have the Illidari cards, Command the Illidari or the other one, this can be insane. The effect is not bad. You develop a threat for 5 mana, assuming it's above 5/5 stats. The downside is that, again, it's 5 mana, this has to be in your hand. I'm going to give this C minus. This could honestly be a D plus, but I think a C minus is fair. It's not going to be consistent. It's gonna pop off every so often, and you be like, shit, I lost to this card. I'm surprised it's not a beast. I guess Vamp, I don't know, but yeah. So this will be better in Hunter probably. So it's gonna be better in Hunter, I would think. Yeah, it should be better in Hunter, even though if you get Illidari cards, this is pretty good. Probably even be a B, B plus maybe, possibly. You can get that consistently, but that's rare. Soul Shard Lapidary. So this is some kind of uh gemstone type of word. So 5 mana, 5/5. So fair stat line, which is like a B, B minus. Battlecry, destroy a soul fragment in your deck to give your hero +5 attack this turn. So this is a soul fragment card. If you don't have any soul fragments, a 5/5 is a fair card. It's probably, like I said, a B type of rating for 5/5. Even though a lot of people say it's bad, but I think it's fair. It's better than a 3 mana 3/3, 5 mana 5/5, I think. So this effect is insane. It's an insane effect. Uh, not AoE insane. So for assuming consistent soul fragment stuff, I'm going to give this an A plus. I know I gave some of the other soul fragment type of cards S ratings because those effects were arguably more insane. This will give reach or a nice clear, but later on, however, when the expansion bonus is not as good, this will probably still be in the A minus range, while the other soul fragment type of cards will decrease, aside from the ones that shuffle them in. But yeah, this is a good card. The effect is insane. The card's fair to place by itself, despite what some other people are saying. Right? Marrow Slicer, 4 mana, 4/2 weapon. Battle Cry, shuffle 2 soul fragments into your deck. So this is an insane fucking card. Even without the soul fragments, even if you just gave it Battle Cry and do not and whatever, because like Bully or any Battle Cry synergy, this is a better Arcanite Reaper because Demon Hunter on turn 5 can also hero power and then have essentially an Arcanite Reaper. They also have other ways to generate attack outside of weapon. Now, the fact that this generates soul fragments and you want soul fragments is really good. This is an easy S category. I'm not sure if this deserves a double S because this is a soul fragment enabler. So this card standalone is good. No other cards affect this. This card affects other cards, which is not sure which matters more, but this card makes other cards better. Other cards do not change the effect of this card really. I think a single S is fine. And when soul fragment cards are less, more likely, this may likely to even stay in S, and if it does drop, it would just drop to an A plus or so. This would not drop much when there's no more expansion bonus or whatever, but this is a really good card. I want to give this S double S, but I'm not sure if I could give a weapon that much because the effect doesn't do anything like right away, or it does give you delayed heal. I think S is fine. S is more than fine. Vile Fiend Trainer, 4 mana, 5/4. Outcast, summon 2/1/1 demons. So it's a good stat line for 4 mana, 5/4, which is probably a B plus stat line or B stat line. The effect is pretty good. It's not insane. Because what else were there? There was Necromancer. There was Henge Clan Hag. What was the Hag? What were the stats from Henge Clan Hag? It's a 3/3. Necromancer was a 2/4, I believe, and summoned 1/2s. Grim Necromancer summoned 1/2s, I believe. No, it was 1/1s. This is a better Grim Necromancer and a better Hag. Those were fair cards. They were not insane. This is at least an A. Not a, I don't think it's an A plus. So 4 mana 5/4 is a B at worst, I think, or B minus. But this is an outcast. All right, so yeah, B minus is A minus is fine, or this could even be a B plus. But I think A minus is fine. No, outcast is not easy to get. I'll give this a B plus. Because again, 4 mana 5/4s are B. It's like a B, not a B plus anyway. So yeah, this is a B plus. So yeah, Demon does nothing. Alright, it's fair. Double jump. 1 mana spell. Draw an outcast card from your deck. So it's a cycle card. It's a bet. It's a. I don't know if there's any card that draws a card and is not a any spell card that draws a card that has no other effect. This is not bad. The question is how consistent is Overcast, and do you want to spend one of your drafted cards on this? It's a C or B. It's not super bad. It's probably C plus, B minus range. Outcast cards are typically good. Haven't really played it much Demon Hunter. How often are you drawing Demon Hunter cards? And even without the expansion bonus, as long as there's another Demon Hunter set, it should be okay. I think a C tier is fine, and just gonna give it a normal C. Because D 1 mana cycle is fine already, but the Outcast is better than a normal card, but you're not really as likely to have an Outcast. I think C is a fair rating. Spirit Jailer, 1 mana 1/3 demon. This is also a Warlock card. This is a really good card. So Battlecry, shovel 2 soul fragments into your deck. So 1 mana 1/3 is fair. It's really good in Warlock, but it's probably good in Demon Hunter too, especially with Hero Power to help. You have play this instead of Hero Power. It's a really good card. If you don't get any Soul Fragment synergy cards, get 2 delayed heal later on. It's a small card. I don't know if this should get an S. I know some people gave it like a 5-star out of 5, but I think A plus is a fine rating. But yeah, this is a good card. You do it could be an S actually. No, but I have to so as a standalone, it's a 1 mana 1/3 possible possible 2 sources of delayed heal for 2 each. I think A plus is fine because the card itself is not impactful. You have to have the rest of your deck to have some soul fragment synergy cards. So yeah. So that is all for the Demon Hunter card. So you're watching this on YouTube or whatever, so that's Demon Hunter. You could check out the other classes that I've yet to do at least, but so until then,